I'm Anya Bass, I'm an artist, and my work is process-based. It takes different forms and shapes, and sometimes it's events-based, sometimes it's performative, sometimes it's product-based.
I'm Paul from Something and Son.
And I'm Andy from Something and Son. We produce architectural installations a lot of them are in the public realm.
We are Anna and Mark of Stealth Unlimited, a practice based between Belgrade and Rotterdam. We are architects by education, and we do various different projects that span spatial interventions, curation, and also urban research.
My name is Katrin Böhm. I normally work in collaborations very often, either within a kind of planning and architectural context.
Can Altay, I'm from Istanbul. I work mainly in relation to public space, sometimes within public spaces, sometimes working about situations and conditions of publicness.
I work for Europa, which is a graphic design company based in London. We work mostly for public sector clients, councils, the Greater London Authority, and often collaborating with artists and architects.
After today, I find it really quite hard because we are just at this moment now where we dived out of knowing a little bit to becoming aware of how complex it is.
Whilst there's a group of us together, I think it will be about learning together and about exploration that is shared between all of us, and that it remains open so anyone can come in and sort of gaze into what we're doing, but also become involved throughout the process. I'll be interested in this group learning that might take different forms, so maybe not necessarily meetings by the table, but maybe also walks or conversations which are structured in more informal ways.
I would like to collaborate on something. I'm quite applied in how I do things. So the fact that there's a public space, there's a shop, there's other artists, I have a sense for it might need some structure to communicate the complexity we're going to produce.
We're quite interested in graphic identities and what is the kind of graphic language of a place. Often we feel that we're comfortable creating graphic identities for projects, but actually to kind of create something for a place is problematic.
We've been looking at initially around ideas around combination between the university and the town, which is quite unique here, how they could work together. The prevalence of fitness. I think there's maybe a nice level to this project as well as for us to be quite practical around kind of just doing things and seeing if they work quite quickly.
So we have to think of a way of how to possibly team up with maybe already existing groups or communities to see how we could contribute.
I think my role would be in a way to introduce different possibilities of thinking about that particular area, and also the openness towards reconfiguration and the openness towards participation, in the sense that it is not only a site of consumption but also a site of production.
I mean, I think culture and creativity has a role to play in town centres, and traditionally that would be one of the cultural centre or the arts centre, and they're places that people who are interested in culture and art go to. And I think it would be nice through this project to try and widen what that means.
Maybe one thing which we could bring in is to help imagining, to help trigger certain processes. It's difficult when you're as a citizen or as a member of the council always in the middle of it. As an outsider, you maybe have an easier approach to that, and also I think you're not so much bothered by existing relations.
So what we can offer as artists is to present, to make visible such possibilities, or present and make visible the kind of discrepancies or the negativities.
I think artists often come in and challenge roles we're expecting, like who's producing, who's benefiting. To like play with roles and expectations in order to open up broader possibilities for using a centre of town rather than narrowing it down.